atiram uns nos outros, exatamente como
There's my landmark, that big fig tree there amongst a sea of usually just coconut palms. This is where I was yesterday afternoon, and I had some really nice shrimp. Today's mission is about a 4-kilometer walk down the beach. We're going to check out some cliffs nearby. Looks like tide was really low this morning. I'm assuming it's on its way back in. Hopefully that doesn't get in the way of things, but first world problem. All right, that's it. This is about the extent, so I made it last night. It's maybe a 5 or 10 minute walk where I pop out of the road. These yellow barrels here. They love that they hoots here also. It's really going to open up once we make it around that little spit out there. We'll see. So there's a few of these kind of scattered large hotel posada places far outside of town. I wouldn't consider staying in these unless I rented a car here. Otherwise, you're at the mercy of what these guys want to feed you and what they want to give you to drink, and the cost of those as well. So rent a car if you're going to stay down here. This should really open up. Absolutely beautiful day. Can't really quite see the reefs. I think they're a bit more prominent to the north of us, but the swells here, the breakers really seem quite calm. The waves really don't seem that rough, but they'll get rougher as high tide continues. Kind of see where it maybe was. Again, I'm not sure if it's coming or going. I kind of almost want to say it's coming in, which shouldn't be a problem heading back. Question is how far we're going to be able to make it today with those tides going. All right, that's it. There's a tiny little crab there. Well, I guess at least the good news is if I run out of water, I'm not going to die of thirst. But there's the target. All right, so about a 20-minute walk from my posada brings me right to the tip here. I'm gonna have to look up what this beach, the name of this beach is. A few beach areas. They rent fat bikes here, but you can see the giant Falésias, the giant sandstone cliffs. That's our destination. We're gonna see how far we can get down there. There actually is a couple little bodegas which are interspersed throughout those cool cliffs, but we're gonna check those out next. You can see there's kind of a stairway and a gate up there. I don't know if that's actually an official entrance or not. We're not going to try at this point. There'll be something on the way back. I see as many people pushing and walking those bikes than I do riding. More so, actually. Pay for the privilege to push a bike. Oh, well, the wind picked up a little bit. It cools it off. Right? It makes it feel like it's cooling off, but you got to be careful because that sun is intense. Waves seem to be a little more choppy down this end of town, just a little bit. Just tide or lack of reefs, but the view's nice though. You can see like the actual roots of trees and plants are the very top layer of that sandstone. Sandstone's wearing away underneath those roots. Well, there's like 3 bikes that are just dumped out in front of the dunes. Oh, there's people up there. I think they're exploring. Oh, they went up there. Okay, they got little places to climb up and get better views. Pretty neat. Well, this is why I brought my shoes. This is why I brought my running shoes. Is because I ain't cutting it in flip-flops. I am just gonna get hurt. Best case, I lose a lot of time. Worst case, I get hurt. Cause yeah, this is why I brought clunky, heavy shoes in my backpack. And I just met some really nice people from Belo Horizonte. So. Alright, that's it. Not a bad view. Yeah, short, steep little walk, but again, I don't want to do that in flip-flops. Your average Brazilian, no problem. No problem. For me, yeah, problem. Great view. Probably could go this way, although, but there's more stairs. Let's head that way. Oh, there's a couple of vistas here. Holy bleep. That's where I'm heading back shortly. Boy, this is, it's beautiful, but terrifyingly uncomfortable at the same time. I don't like this feeling of being this high. Like, I'm just greedy for that view. This is amazing. Got a gaggle of Brazilians following me, which kind of surprises me. I guess, I don't know. Maybe I've been fortunate, lucky that I've kind of been some. Yeah, I'm just spoiled. I'm spoiled because there's like 12 people within eyesight of me. That's how spoiled I've become. But either way, beautiful scenery. I'll just Photoshop out the people. I think maybe there's another area where we can actually get up into these cliffs. And there's these little staggered botecas. This is, I'm sure, what allows people to come in here as well, too. Unlike like Jacumã, Tabatinga, Tambaba, there's nothing around there. Absolutely nothing. And I wonder if that's what kind of keeps people at bay there. We'll talk about prices when we get back into town and compare and contrast some other places in terms of what your average meal costs and food and things like that later. But for now, we're just evaluating the beaches. All right, that's it. Another little shack here, Lagoa Azul. I'm assuming that in wetter times there's actually a lake, although maybe not necessarily blue. Oh, there's my mineral buddies. I met them earlier. I need to get a shot of the yellow sand, turquoise water, blue sky, white clouds, and pink cliffs with green palms. I'm not that talented though. Alright, we'll give it a shot anyway. That's it. I don't know if we'll make it down there yet, but yeah, there's another good sized one, maybe even 2 or 3 beach kiosks down there. I guess these really are, they're just enabling folks to take to these beaches, which I certainly don't blame them by any means. I'm just kind of spoiled. Yeah, waves definitely have a bit more choppiness to them. But yeah, you can see down here, there's a fair amount of traffic, and it's relatively early by Brazilians. It's, it's 10, which is early for average Brazilian. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of surprised at the traffic considering the lack of posadas here, but I think these little mini beach kiosks really just act as enablers to keep people walking down the beach, unlike Jacumã. Busier than Jerry for sure. Unlike Praia do Gonga, once you got away from the main area, there weren't any people. But here, there's just little spots of civilization where you can get a beer or water or whatever. I wonder if that's the difference here. We'll see. All right, water's really nice. It is rough. It's just don't float and bob around out there. It's rough. It'll bite you. That's about the extent I feel like walking today. It's about 10 to 11, and we'll head back to not to the Posada, but probably right to my beach kiosk there. I know wind noise is terrible, but that's where I was earlier. Up there, that's a little stairway kind of carved out up the top. That was really a spectacular view. Yeah, I saw someone poke their head out up there. I don't know how many people. Some dude digging through his backpack, probably looking for something. Yeah, I don't want to do it in flip-flops. That was pretty cool. Alright, this is this is about the midway point. Actually, we were way down there earlier. You can't quite see around this tricky cruise. This is like probably the first biggest kiosk to get to on the way back to Arraial. That looks like maybe they had a storm or something, I'm not sure. But they're digging the sand out of here and then backfilling it over here. I'm not really sure why.
So back at Praia de Mucugê at Barraca Arapati, this was a place where I had a nice little snack the day prior, and I was ready to kind of sit down, do some people watching. After it was about a 5-mile round trip, nothing too strenuous, but I was able to kind of sit down, relax, listen to some amazing live music. There's a band that's playing. They were from Rio, and they making some self-deprecating humor, being from Rio and playing in Bahia. It was kind of fun, but the crowd loved them. Obviously, and you'll see more later in the evening, the demographics here certainly were skewed older. I didn't see a lot of families. I saw couples, I saw older people with their adult children, but so far from what I've seen in Arraial, it definitely skewed older. Not necessarily elderly, but some. Not a ton of families, not a ton of kids, which was one difference that I did notice from previous places. I had a great spot near this band because they were really great. They played all kinds of music. This dude here in front of me at the hat, clearly just getting sauced. And keep in mind, it's probably about noon at this point. So after a great afternoon at the beach, I made my way, it's about 7 o'clock at this point, up to central Arraial, and I found this restaurant with some outdoor seating right on Broadway, right on kind of like the main artery of foot traffic for Arraial. And this was great. More live music, more diverse music, because they had a couple different live bands that were playing. Great intersection of like established restaurant shops versus also street vendors, street performers. Really cool area. You'll see it's still upscale. Meals were certainly on the pricey side, although they get higher as you go to Trancoso, as we'll see in later videos. But again, you'll notice kind of older couples, not a lot of young people, not really any kids, families. But overall, pretty mellow, quite safe, kind of a bubble. Really didn't feel like I was in Bahia. So I chose my Pousada Beijo Vento, for as much location as I did view. I'm about a 10-minute walk from downtown here and about a 5-minute walk to the beach. And location-wise, I really couldn't ask for anything more. So after attempting some rather mediocre night lapses, I was presented the opportunity with a clear evening. So I thought, let's try a night lapse of the sky. And I was able to catch some movement of the stars above, but what I noticed after watching the video is the boat traffic. So the little lights in the lower left corner, those are boats on the ocean, which I didn't catch till later, didn't expect, but they turned out pretty cool.